Hello, guys. Everyone out there watching? Just wanted to go live really quick and talk about the RC stuff and the upcoming slot car stuff. Is anyone on here? I can't see. Anyhow, you guys know I made the grips here. I'm going to show them. Also got some new slot cars that me and my sister are going to be racing. Sergeant J, what's happening? Thanks for stopping in. Let's do a quick live here. I'm going to show my grips, what I made. They're ready to go. I sold a few of them already. I got some new slot cars in that me and my sister are going to race. Happy Saturday to you. I got to look down at the laptop because it's all messed up. I have the room set up wrong. So, anyhow, I can't see how many people. I should have had my other one there so I could see. But anyhow, yeah. These guys know from my latest videos that I make these custom grips. They're real grippy and they last like forever compared to them foam grips. You get fed up, they always break. But anyhow, there they all are. Ta-da! That's them. Ready to go. It's hard to capture the color on film, like when I take pictures or do the videos, because they're like, a lot of them are the day glow fluorescent colors. They're so bright. I can't explain. Like a street cone bright, the orange. This pink here is so bright your eyes get blurry looking at it. And that's in the regular light, so if you take them outside, they're even brighter. But you can never capture it on film. But they're awesome. They last forever. Like I said, I got fed up because my grips were deteriorating. So it's been like 4 years, I think, since I made these. So I decided, hell with it. I'll make one more last batch of them. And that's what I did. And they're ready to go. Like I said, I sold a few of them already. So that's good. At least I won't get stuck with them all. I'm probably going to have them for a while because I used to have my website. I had a website and I took it down. I used to put them up there and people used to email me real quick. Now without nothing and just popping it on my YouTube and Facebook, it's going to be harder for me to sell. Slot Valley Racing, what's up? Nice to see you here. You just bought a Carrera track? Yeah, I was trying to explain. I replied to you in the other post about the tracks. I had them all, this table here that I have now, it was like 3 foot wider and it came all the way to here. It was like 21 foot long. I had a huge 4-lane Carrera track. I went through them all. I went through Scalextric Sport, Ninco, and then I put up the Carrera. And once I put Carrera up, it stayed. But I got this new Polycar track, and I actually like it better than the Carrera track. Just for the reason the texture is like rougher and the stock tires grip better to it. And it don't matter if you leave the track up for a month and it gets dusty, they still grip. Whereas when I had my Carrera, you had to clean it before every race because any little dust on there made the car slip like crazy. And mostly you had a switch, like if you were into racing, you would get the Carrera track, and when you have that type of track, you'd have to clean it. And well, you're always supposed to clean it before a race anyhow, right? But anyhow, a lot of the times you would switch the tires like on the cars to silicone because they grab really good on the Carrera when it's clean. That's one downside of the rough surface that you can't use. The silicone tires don't grip as good. You get better traction on the Carrera with the silicone tires. But the build quality on this track, the new one I got, the Polycar, I think it's built much better and all the accessories fit. But like you said, if you're going to get it and start into it out of the box, Carrera got everything. If you go digital also, because when you go digital, they don't even have digital Polycar. They just have the analog. And you would have to they're coming out with a crossover track. You would have to put that in, then you could do digital on this Polycar track. But the one good thing about the Polycar track is the only company that sells 4-lane sets. So that's I had a set. But anyhow, both good, but you're going to get hooked. You're doomed. Let me look at these comments here. Oh my God. Slot Valley Racing, Dan, you're gonna be hooked. Oh, you got the digital? Yeah, the digital's fun. I like it, but it's only us racing, the two of us. So, man, I never had digital all my life. We had the club with 4 lanes. We used to run like that. But the digital is cool because you could put like 6 cars on there, and you could also, even if it is kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe in the future. I don't know. It's cool because you could put like cars on there, and I think how they work, they're ghost cars. You race as good as you can for a few laps, and it saves it. And you could put like a few cars on there, even if you're just playing around yourself, and they'll be working as good as when you race them. So it's kind of like you're racing. So that's kind of good. That's what I like about the digital. It would be nice to have that if you're alone, like racing alone. But I don't know. Maybe one day we'll swap over when they get all this Polycar one ready. The 124th Carrera ones are really nice too. I had them back in the day. They run on a higher voltage, like 18 volts. But now, compared to when I had them back in the day, the Carrera cars, I got them now again. Oh, so much better. It's like comparing an AFX Mega G Plus to like the first Auto Worlds that came out. Thompson RC, what's up? If you want, Dan, I'll show you the track. But anyhow, first let me show you the cars that me and my sister got. I picked up these Go cars, the Indy ones. I don't know if you could see them. These are really nice. They're like the HO cars, but a little more detailed, but they're bigger. They're in between the 132nd. And then I got her this nice one, this metallic blue. It has like pink on it. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't open them up because I think we're going to do our next race. We're just going to open them up. This one's going to be mine, the silver, and this one's going to be hers. I think we're just going to open them up, break them in, race them right out of the package and see what the hell happens. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so that'll be fun. These look really nice. Dan, you could run well, if you get a digital track, that's the only thing. If you get a digital track, that's what stinks. You can't run all the analog cars. You have to get a switcher box. That's one thing about digital. If you get a digital track, you're going to have to buy the cars or more money. And they're like $10 more, I think, average. But you can't run all the analog stuff unless you get some kind of switcher box, and they're kind of expensive. Like if you got an analog set, you could have ran these Go cars. You could have ran your HO cars with the modification. You could have run anything. That's one thing that I didn't like about the digital. But they have switcher boxes, but they're expensive. Look at the comments here. Scott is running him tonight on his live, so it'll be good timing. Oh, cool. So what set did you order, Dan? Did you order the digital or the analog set? Because when you order digital set, you have to only run digital cars. That's what's kind of the drawback. You can't run they have a lot of other analog cars, all the manufacturers. And then if you like something, you'll have to buy it and put a chip in it to run it. Whereas if you have analog, you could run all the analog cars and the Carrera cars, and I think the Scalextric cars have a chip in them that you put them on the track, you pull the trigger like 3 times. That's what we did. We got a digital Carrera on a analog track here, the Polycar, and it works on analog also, but you can't run an analog on a digital track without putting a chip in it, unless you get like DNA slot cars shown, that little box. I think Slot Car Wildman had it also. It's a little box, and you hook that up to your track so you could run all analog and digital. So if you want to do that, you'll have to look into that. Slot Bar oh, you got the Evolution. So that's not digital then, right? I don't know. DTM Fever. I'm not sure. I think Evolution's not the digital. Oh, you did get analog. Oh, that's good then. You could run anything. You could get the Go cars. You could get the SCX compact cars, the 43. You could run anything on it. Even, like I said, if you like the Carrera digital cars or the Scalextric, they have a chip in them. If you put it on the analog track, we pull the trigger like 3 times on the Carrera, it switches it to make it work on the analog track, so you don't need digital with them brands. Oh, that's good. Because I know them switcher box, I think are like at least a couple $100. It's kind of expensive. I'm just leaning over looking at the comments because I have the camera over here. I should have had another thing, but yeah, we got them beauties. They're really nice and they're cheap. These things, I think this one was 20 bucks. 20 bucks. This one was $24.99. But they're cheap, the Go cars, and they work really good. They're fun. They're like HOs. They have more of a magnet than the 132nd. They're in between the HOs and the 132nd. My sister likes them because they're really quick and they hug the turns. I want to race non-magnet, but she don't want none of that. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Even the Carreras, some of the Carreras you get on sale, like the 132nd ones, like sometimes you got to look at the places. They're like 35 bucks. And then we were buying the AFX Mega Gs. They were more than that for them little cars. And that's why I got mad when I emailed AFX, and my sister did also. We were having problems with the gears all bent and the pinions and some of the wheels that are around. We got mad because you're spending sometimes $40 or more for them little cars, and they're all jacked up. And you get these bigger cars, you get them for like $35. It's so much more you're getting in the detail and everything on it. It looks like it costs much more. And they're real race cars. They're licensed from Carrera, so they're real. It's incredible how they make them for that much compared to the HOs. But anyhow, the race we're going to have next with the pole, where is it? We had, what the hell was it? The Fly Marcoses or the, what was it? Scalextric Austin Martins and the Fly Marcos cars won. So let me get them real quick and show you. Also, I got, Dan, I got a piece of Carrera and I got a piece of the Poly car. I'll show you the difference. But here they are. Slot Car Lead Up Champions. What's up? These were like my favorite cars back in the day. The body, I love these cars. They're so neat. Check them out. They're bad. Ain't they beauties? Well, you guys picked us these beauties to race, so the next 1/32 scale will be this race here. This orange one is mine. And then this one I gave to my sister. I had a whole crap load of 1/32 scale cars. I sold them years ago, but I kept some for myself. I had hundreds of them. And I looked what I had because I like the Marcoses. I saved a lot of these. I have a few of these different paint jobs. I have some collector sets. I have some MRC Cobras with the little guy figure, Carroll Shelby. I think I have 2 of those, and I have some special fly edition for the 40th anniversary. I have a couple stuff and I even have some old HO cars that I saved from Auto World, like the Bandit and the General Lee and the Dukes of Hazzard cars and stuff like that. But these are awesome. These were like my favorite. They're really cool cars. And here, I'll show you. I know Dan's getting into this. I just wanted to show him. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. You can see this is a Carrera track. And it's like HO, the surface. Really smooth. It has a little texture. You could hear it. Well, you got to dust it off a lot, like I said. And here's the Poly car track. You could probably see it looks kind of grainy. Hear the difference? In other words, you go, I get a scrape on my elbow. If you go like that, you're gonna get cut. It's like rougher. It's not as rough as the old Minco stuff, but it's rough. That's why the stock tires grab this good, and you don't have to change them. And plus, if it gets dust on it, don't matter. Let me look at the comments here. Have you thought about banking some of the turns on your track? Are you talking to me or Dan? I don't know who you're talking to. I got the whole, if you're talking about my polycar track, the whole right side is banked in elevation and coming down a hill. So I got one side already banked up going uphill. It's a full circle that goes up a hill and comes down a hill. That's what I got done to this. You can't really bank. I was going to put shims, them little wood shims they sell that bank like probably 5 millimeters. I was going to put them around and bank the corners. I actually tried it out. Didn't do that much for the performance. So I said, the hell with it. You're better off leaving it flat, because when it's flat, you could like push on the track and not damage anything. When it's all up in the air, like where mine is, you got to be careful. Sometimes you could hit it and stuff and tweak stuff. So I like keeping it flat, so when the cars fly off and stuff also, they don't get ejected off the track. Because if you have a high bank turn and you fall off on the turn inside and you hit that high bank turn, your car slides up it and it's like a ramp and it can fly off the table more. All right, now back to the track for Dan. They both use Carrera. The Carrera and the Poly car, and I don't know if probably Scale Auto new stuff uses the same rails. They're the best because the rails in these, they're made with a stainless steel mix. They're not 100% steel, so the magnet don't stick as hard to these tracks as like a Scalextric or SEX or the Ninco they used to have. But the advantage, even that old Arton stuff, I have a piece of Arton track upstairs I kept in my closet. Because it has regular metal rails, it's all rusty. These rails are stainless steel mix. I didn't do nothing to my track since I put it up. And I know because I had the Carrera track for many years. how they're shiny like this. They always stay shiny. They never get like rusted or anything. Never get rust on them because they're stainless steel mix. So that's what makes these brands tracks way better than like Sports Electric or any of them. They always get pitted and pitted, rotted, and rusty. And they also get like dark black marks on them, where this stays really shiny. How wide are they? Here's the difference. You could run 1/24th on the Polycar track. The Polycar track's a little thinner. See the difference? I think one might be 7-something inches. The other one might be almost 8. I would have to measure. I forgot. But that's the difference you could see. But you could still run 1/24th on here. You probably have to use the thinner, not as wide cars. I don't know. I never tried it yet. I want to try it. But I'll line up the slot real quick. The slot looks like it's probably about like a little bigger than an 1/8 inch wider, maybe. I'm not sure. Check it out. That's how much further apart it goes. Just enough more spacing so you could run the 1/24th scales nice. Whereas on the Polycar track, I guess you could smack them together easy. It'll be like running on AFX, regular AFX, how close them new cars are. Yeah. But for 1/32nd scale, this is the proper best spacing. This is kind of a little bit too wide because they make it. This is really 1/24th scale track, and they make it for. They say you could use it with 1/32nd, but it's really 1/24th. This is real 1/32nd spacing, so this is actually nice. They're both nice. I had them both. This is awesome track. I love it. And I just got this because I got back into it. And I like it a lot. The way they built it, I'll show you the bottom, what I'm talking about. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the one thing I like about Polycar. This is Carrera. Look at it. If you could see it, how it's all hollow and just thin plastic. It flexes and it warps. It's not as flat. And this is the Polycar track. Look at all the supports they have and all these things for when you want to raise your track. They have all the accessories fit really nice. It's solid. It's flat more. I know from when I had my Carrera track, you could see down this piece. I don't know if you guys could see it. See, it don't look flat. It's a little warped on the edges. Sometimes you get bows like tracks like this and stuff when it's more bendy. I can't explain it. They should have made it stronger. It's too flexible, like it could warp and bend. But I had it for many years, no problem. It's good. I think this is the best stuff before they came out with like this. This is built a little better to me. But this is like flatter and really stiff because it got the bracing all around it. So that's the difference. I know they don't make fancy sets. They only have like one with the one that I bought, the little set with the little BRZ cars. That's the downfall. And I think they don't do that because it's made by it's Polycar and Slot It makes high-end stuff. So they really wanted to make the track really, really good, and they're not going crazy with all little things because they know when you get it, you're gonna buy cars and all that stuff, controllers for yourself. So this is more like they make it like kind of like it's like they advertise more as a toy for kids and stuff like that. The Polycars advertise more like as a like for professional, like a raceway, like a club racing and stuff like that. They don't. It's different. They're both nice. I had them both. I don't care what track I would have right now. I would still love this on my table, but I didn't use it because it was wider and I didn't have the room now because I had my table was a few foot wider and a few foot longer. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. I don't know if I even put up a picture of it. I had this table was 8 foot wide almost, and it came from it. Now it's only 16. It used to be 21 foot long, and this side over here on the end of my track used to come up on an angle, and I had like a high bank turn angle thing, and I had 4 lanes on it, and I had the club racing on it, and it was awesome. Slot car league champ. I want to try TCR. Pass when you're not. Oh, slot value, you got a 20 by 30. Oh, then Carrera is good for you then. It don't matter what track you're getting. uh, Slot Car League of Champions. I know I was watching Dan's live and they were making fun of TCR. I had it, and you search my channel, TCR. Not the regular old junk one. Get the Tyco one. In the turns, they have a separator wall. So if you're in the inside, you stay in the inside. If you go to the outside, you'll stay on the outside. I have a few videos that actually work pretty darn good. Check them out. They were good. They weren't as bad as the originals. The Tyco stuff, the cars they made, the way they worked, and the way their track had the, like, let me show you real quick over here. Let me see something. Wait a minute. All right, let me show you about the TCR, how it worked first. Say you had your track like this, and it's TCR. You know how the TCR had the border on this side and this side. When you were over here, you would go boom, slap into the wall, and then go around this turn. Tyco had a border down the middle, a separator. So if you're over here and you stay in this lane, you hit that border, you stay in the inside. And if you're over here and you change over here, you'll go into the outside. Check my channel out, search TCR. I think I have a few videos of me racing. It worked so good, I was going around cones and everything. It wasn't nothing like the original one that just had no control. Even the cars stayed better on, they grabbed better. All right, let me see the comments here. Let me see the comments. Is Tyco the best? Yeah, the Tyco one's the last one ever made that they tried to make it better and better, and then they all were like failures, and Tyco was the last one to try to do it. And I look at my videos, I'm telling you, it worked all right. If you wanted to stay in the inside lane, you just stood in it, had that border in the turn. Yeah, the Tycos and the cars were built better also. The Tyco cars worked a lot better. Them old ones, the TCR original ones, in the Matchbox, I think, made it. They were trash compared to the new Tyco one is so much better. Just watch my videos. I think I had a few of them. I think they're from like 10 years ago or something, because 10 years ago I made another HO track. I have slot car videos. I have a playlist. I have from like 10 years ago when I got back into the HO, I had another HO track on here, a different one. Then I had a TCR on my table, and I was playing around with that, doing videos and stuff. Then I got out of it again. Now I got into it because I always said I'm stupid. I should have just left it on the table. That way, if you ever get back into it, and I didn't. So my sister surprised me with the AFA. I don't know if I ever told you the story how I got back into it again. Yeah, I have those Auto World set with the NASCARs. That's the ones we raced last time. We got them out of the set. I have it over there with the big high bank turns. They are nice. Well, anyway, I don't know if I ever told you the story of why I got back into the slot cars again. My sister came over like last year sometime or a year and a half ago. I forgot when it was. She comes over with a box and I'm like, what the hell's this? Because we used to run the HO cars when we were kids. She came over with a box and I opened them. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I opened it up. I took it out of the box. I'm like, hey, FX, I think it was called the Horsepower Shootout. It came with a Mustang and a Camaro. I forgot. I think it was a blue Mustang, the dark blue one with the Camaro. It was like an orange one, like her Camaro. That's why she got it. I'm like, oh my God. And we set it up on the floor. And we're like running and we're like, holy crap. These new ones work so much better than the old ones. So long story short, we got hooked again. We started buying all cars. Then we put it on the table. Then I made it bigger. You could see all my videos, the evolution. Made it bigger and bigger. Then I had it to where I liked the HO track. But then I always wanted to try the 1/32 scale again because I remember I liked it. It was awesome. And I had the 1/32 scale track in my mind. I wanted to try the poly car because I never had it. And it's new and everyone was saying it's so nice. So I got that little poly car track. Then we tried it. And we're like, oh, I don't know. Then we learned we could run the HO cars on it. And after that, we're like, forget it. There's no sense having the HO track because the cars were so close together when we race. I'd say 70% of the time you fall off was from someone hitting you because they hit together when you race. You hear them clicking together because I don't know why AFX didn't make the track wider. When Tommy took over, when I was in my club, I kept emailing him and calling him. I said, if you're going to redo the track, make it wider. It needs to be wider. They didn't do it. They just copied it and made it the same width, and they were stupid. If they would have made it wider, it would have been nice, but they didn't. But anyhow, so that's why we went with the 1/32. And then we said, finally, to hell with it, just make the 1/32 big. We'll keep 1/32. That way we could race HO, the 143, and the 1/32, and probably the 124. So it's the best of everything for slot cars. It's good. You could run everything. Oh, I love the new layout you got with the big turns on the top. I don't know if you've seen my community tab. I posted a picture of a track I had when I was probably a teenager, and I had something not like yours. It was on a ping pong table, but it was kind of like it. It was like an oval, crooked, and then over the top I had whatever the biggest turns were back then. It may have been 12 radius or something. I made the like you, but little ovals across the top. That track was so awesome. We used to run the Magna tractions. Were awesome on there. Yeah, they're fun. HO's nice, but I think the track needs to be widened, and they just never listen. They just don't make it. I don't know why. Back in the day when I had my club and I was heavy into the HO racing in the nationals and all over different clubs, I remember they were going to remake it, Tommy, and I kept calling and asking. I said, you got to make it wider. You got to make it wider. They just made it like newer, but the same. I was so mad. How much more could it have cost them to make the track a half inch or more, a little bit wider? Would have costed hardly anything. I told them I don't know if you guys remember when it was AFX when Tommy got it, they remade it all new. They said they redid all the tracks and they made them all new. The molds did everything. That was when I was heavy into racing, and I called them. I emailed them. I kept telling them, you got to make it wider. It's too close. The cars are so big. They're like scraping. There's a millimeter between them. I kept saying, I made my friends who I raced with do the same thing, hoping they'd make the track maybe a half inch wider, but like the cars, like maybe a half inch or a little more, like maybe a little bit wider in the middle instead of scrape. They didn't do nothing. I was so mad. It was like, why would they bother making it the same if everyone's complaining? And it could be so much better if they widened it, and it wouldn't have cost that much more for a little bit of plastic and separating the lanes. Yeah, the Tommy, they took over and they redid the whole track. They redid all molds and remade it like new again, but they couldn't make it a little bit wider. Could you imagine how much nicer it would be if the AFX track, when you put it together 4 lanes, separated the cars about probably maybe a ½ inch apart in the middle? That'd be awesome. But they just don't want to do it for some reason. And the funniest thing is, they sure like making the cars wider and wider, and there's more plastic in those. And they got more plastic in the wide cars, but they didn't make the track wider. That's funny. Scott's House of HO Racing, what's up? Yeah. And that's why I was telling a lot of guys ask me about the HO tracks. I'm like, I'm telling you, now from what I did with this 132nd track, I'm like, I don't know. My ultimate HO track now would be Carrera Go track. It's cheap for the sets. Go look at it. You can fit it on the same size as HO. It's like, it's got the rails like this on it. You could easily make the HO cars run on it. It's wider. It'll separate them probably about 1 inch or less apart. They'll have the ultimate HO smooth track, and it's cheaper than AFX. I'm telling you, that's the way to go for HO serious racing. Carrera Go. Green Frog, what's up? If they don't widen the track, are there certain cars that fit better than others? Yeah, Green Frog, the problem is when we were kids, even before we were kids, in the 60s, the cars, they're called T-Jets. Let me get one. I'll show you the difference between the cars. Hold on, guys. Oh, I fixed it. Thanks for the simoleons, brother. Let me get some cars here to show you. I'll show you the problem. Just bear with me. I'm trying to look at these comments here. Hold on. I'm setting up a Carrera Go tonight. Scott's House of HO. That's cool. I think that would make the ultimate HO track for the car with. If you just do what I do to them, and it'll be smoother. And if I was to do HO again, because me and my sister were thinking of getting a Viper track, but they're so expensive. But after doing this, like I said, I like the HOs, and they run better on the big track. They're smoother and better. So the ultimate track I would build myself now is probably get the Go track. It'll space them apart. You won't have to worry about hitting each other off. But anyhow, let me try to answer Green Frogs, and all your guys probably know this, some of you guys, but some people don't. They're new here. With the slot cars, let me put these 143 cars down. They're beauties. Ooh, beauties. My sister's favorite. This is the one she used to race me when I was a little kid on the big oval, like 40-foot long, but high bank turns. We used to fly. Richard Petty. That's why she picked the Petty car and whipped my ass last race. All right. Let me try to answer Green Frog's question. Let me get a piece of AFX track. This is AFX slot car track. Been this size since the 60s. And I'll show you. This is a T-Jet, a custom one I made the General A out of. But it's a beauty. This is the size they were supposed to be. And you'll see the difference. Now, when you have two T-Jets on the track, let me get them closer. Oh, I lost a wheel, a tire. Hold on. Look at the tires. They're like paper. I'll look at the comments, but I want to show this first so you can understand what happened here. All right, look at the difference between a T-Jet. That's what was supposed to race on this track. But the cars evolved to work better, faster around the track, and they widened them out. They put magnets. Look how wide that new car is. So let's take off this. Let me see if I could show you. I have to hold this one, it'll fall off. That's the difference. Now, check this out. Let's put two new cars on the track. Gee, what happened? How could we race those? They're almost scraping. Did you see that, guys? They're like got a millimeter apart or something. I could probably flip them. Let me see. Oh, they're sliding. And that's what happened, and that's why all the HO guys are frustrated about the lane spacing. They made these cars so fat and wide, they didn't do nothing to the track since the 60s, and that's what happens. You race and you hear them hitting, and then you go through turns and you get knocked off, and it's not your fault. No one likes that. No one likes that when you get knocked out. But that's the difference. Track stood the same, cars got bigger. They got like much larger. Let me try to check these comments out. Show your new go can, Steve. I run micro. Yeah, they got micro electric also. Yeah, they probably work good on the Go track with just a little bit of modification. Like I found out, you just put that pipe on there and tweak the shoes a little bit on the Mega G Plus. They work without no braid on them, and so do the Auto Worlds. You just gotta play around with them with just a hair, and once you learn, they work good. But I'm telling you now, if you put the braid on them, they get super quiet and smooth. You don't hear a lot of the like that as much, but they do run quieter on the big track no matter what. Yep, Scott, the track got small. The track is small, but the cars grew. Yep. I want to show you. I don't know. These are, let me get them back here for everyone that's looking now. I told Dan in the beginning of this, I picked up these, I don't know, it's kind of, can't see them too well. Let me show one at a time. Maybe if I stand, it'll do something. These Carrera Go cars. There it is. They're Indy F1s. They're nice. I was telling Dan, this was $20. It's like a big HO car on steroids. And then this one I got for my sister. It's metallic blue with the pink. And what we're going to probably do, I told Dan in the beginning, we're going to take them out of the box, just break them in, and then just run them right out of the box. Don't do nothing to them and just race them and see what the hell happens. So they're nice. I like these a lot. They look really good. They almost look like the new the AFX Mega G ones, but a little more detail, like the driver and everything. And the wheels and the tires look nice. They got the markings on them. But this is a nice scale to run. That's why it's nice if you have HO, if you get like a Go track, it's really cheap. Cheapest stuff going. If you look at the prices of the sets, you won't believe how they make it for that cheap. If you get a Go set, you could at least run the 143 Go cars and the SEX ones and your HO cars with a little bit of tuning. But these are nice. They work. They work kind of like an HO car. They're really fast and they handle good. And then the 132nd cars, they are more not like HO. These are more like in between them both, so they're nice. The 132nd cars they don't handle as good unless you do stuff to them. You can make any scale work good. I had 132nd cars. I sent for proxy races I've won. They went so fast, they were faster than fastest Mega G's or nothing compared to the ones I made. In 132nd scale. All right, let me check these comments. Yeah, the F1s are beauties. Hey, Aunt, thanks for joining in. Well, I don't know. We might be able to race them this weekend. That's why I didn't open them up. I'm not sure. Maybe next weekend, because I'm not going to open them up because we're going to open them up to show them. Then we're just going to probably break them in on the brake machine I got that holds the wheels up, run them for probably like 10 minutes on low voltage. Then we'll just race them stock out of the box and see who wins. And we don't have no choice. We just got the colors of the cars. I got my sister the pink and blue, and I got the silver one. We're just going to take them out and see what the hell happens. Hopes you don't spank me again. And then we're going to race these beauties. The guys, we got like 70 votes, I think. And they picked the Fly Marcos cars to race for our next 132nd scale race. I love this Marcos. It was like my favorite car back in the day. I still love it. I think it's still awesome. Just looks so mean. So these ones we're going to race too. And then I don't have my car here. I got one of these HO Mustangs. I bet her last time, the Super Snake. I make fun of her when we're racing. Oh, the Super Snake. And she lost, so she's got to find something to race mine. I got the orange and white one, so that'll probably be the next HO race, maybe. And just if any of my RC guys are watching, there they are, the radio grips. All ready to go. I sold a few of them already. Hey, and slot car guys, I got something to show you too, but after I show this really quick, this is what they are for the radios, because the slot car guys probably are wondering, what the hell is Steve talking about grips? They go on here because they usually give you foam ones or hard, cheap rubber ones that don't grip, and the ones I make are like real nice and they last. And they're custom and they don't look like nothing else out there. All right, now for the HO guys, let me check the comments real quick. Murdip is on the, thanks for coming in. All right, now for the HO guys, look at this. I was making the grips and I made as much as I can for the material I have. So I had a little bit of material left. And what I did, I'll show you now. I had an old mold I made for HO slot car rear tires. And I've been pouring like twice a day because you have to wait for them to cure, and I put them in the incubator to make them go a little better. I've been pouring them and taking them out, so I get 2 pairs at a shot. These ones are red. And let me show you up here. Let me see if the camera wire works. Look at those beauties I made. Of course, my sister wanted purple, so I had to make the purple ones. I made Day-Glo red, yellow, Day-Glo green, Day-Glo pink. So I got a lot of pairs of tires to test out. So we'll have to see how they work out. So that's what I did with the extra little bit of material I had left. Slot Valley Racing. Yeah, these tires, I made them for like, I don't know if you could see. Oh, wait, I can show you. I know why my sister wanted me to make the purple ones. I don't know if you guys could see, this is a candy purple, but these cameras probably stink. But this is what I made her. I know she probably wanted it for this car. She wanted the purple beauties on there. Yeah, these are like for the X-Traction cars. Yeah, they're all the same diameter. They're lower than the stock ones that come on them, the X-Tractions. I forgot what size they were. I'd have to measure it. But yeah, that's probably why she wanted the purple, and she ain't fooling me. Plus, she did say purple's her favorite color. So we'll have to see how they work. They should work good on the polycar track, the urethane, I think it is, the rubber. I forgot what the diameter of them was. I'd have to mic them out with my micrometer. But yeah, that. Let me tell you a story. I've been racing HO cars since I was probably like 6 years old, probably even before that. I'm going to show you my favorite car body ever. I'm going to get it now. This is my favorite HO car body ever. Because I used to race it with my brother, and I always pick this one out. I have another one too, but this body style is my favorite. And let me go get it out of my box down there. Hey, where's the race at, man? Hold on. All right, let me get this T-Jet back. If you want to see any of my slot cars, let me know. I got some here and I got some over there. Let me bring this up here. Got all the goodies in there, slot car goodies. See this stuff here? The Oxit fader lube? That's what you got to put on your wiper arm or your controllers. Best stuff ever. I know someone made a video and they were using like that grease, what the heck is it called? Super lube. And that's not what you're supposed to use. You're supposed to use like something like this. It's for faders with the metal and the stuff. All right. Ready, guys, to see my most favorite, I almost said it. My most favorite HO racing body I like of all time. Let me look at the comments here. Wish there were big color tires like that for regular cars. Yeah, imagine. What's your Rarest slot car in any car show. I used to have like rare ones. I sold them years ago. I had like big cases of like spinning Matchbox cases filled with them, the HOs. And the 1/32 scale, I had some rare stuff, but I sold that all out stupid. Now I regret it. But let me put a chassis on this one. But I'm going to show you the most best body of a car I liked forever since I had this. This was my favorite when I was little, and this is it. Let me put it on the track for you. Well, I can't because I got this guide pin on here, but we'll put it like that. Here it is, guys. This is my most favorite body of all time, the AFX yellow Corvette. This thing is the baddest slot car in the world. Just look at that mean. That is a beauty, isn't it? I thought they did this one so good. What do you think, guys? You digging it? This is my most favorite car body in this color. But I also like all the Corvettes with this style. They have different colors. The red, white, and blue star ones, the different color ones they have. They're all nice, but the yellow one was my favorite because that's the one I had when I was a little kid. It was my brother's car, but I got to use it. And I always liked Corvettes, and this one just was a beauty. And the next favorite car I like, but I don't have them anymore, is when they made the Camaro body, the split bumper, the AFX Magna Traction with the flag on it and the number 3 and the Chevy bow tie and all them ones. That's the next best one I liked. So these are the two favorites of mine, bodies. This looks so nice, even to this day, the detail on it for how old it is. Even Auto World don't make them this good yet. Let me look at the comments here. Hi, Daniel. Thanks for joining in. Luke, I don't know if I missed anyone else. Luke saying, I love that RC Beetle. I'd love one of those for my slot cars. Yeah, they have. Actually, I think Pink Car I used to have made some Beetle slot cars. Pink Car. Yeah, the Camaro's a beauty too, but this one has meaning behind it. That's the favorite right there. And let's check it out. Like true life form. Here you go, guys. It's so sleek. Check it out. Next to the new Camaro. You know how the new cars are like big high up in the air fenders like boxes? Look at that. The Corvette's lower than the new car. Just like when I parked my Camaro next to my sister's. Hers looks like a pickup truck. Amazing. I love it. Best car ever. AFX Corvette. Here's the little, let me see. Here's the little pin things. I slide on the pin here like that. Watch. Just put it right on. That's after you drill these pipes out for the AFX pins, the Mega G. You got to use that little drill set I show in my other video. I think I used a 1.2 millimeter. I'm not sure. I say it in the video. Just drill it out, cut it, and put it right on. And the pin, the poles, the little straws I show in my video fit directly on the Auto World pin, the plastic one they give you, so you don't have to do nothing with those. I keep this beauty in my box at all times. And I got some 132nd stuff. Yeah, here's the drill set. You buy this drill set thing. It comes like this with all different drills and these little micro ones. It's cheap. I linked it in my video. You buy that. I think it's like $10 for everything or $9. Then you buy these ready straws and you convert the cars to work on the big track. I made a whole bunch of the little pin things in a little jar, just ready to go. Cut them up. And also put the braid on the pickup shoes if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. Like I have a few sets like here. See, I put the braid. I don't know if you'll see it on there, but there's braid on there. They run a little smoother with the braid on. And the funniest thing is, like I said in my video, if you super glue the front edge of the shoe and the braid around it and leave the braid hanging not glued on the back, even if you super glue it on, when it goes on the track, it pushes the braid up on the shoe and it works without soldering it. So you can actually just glue it on the front little edge and the front of the shoe, like over here in the half bottom round part. You could glue it on, and if you leave the rest hanging off like a 1/4 inch or whatever, 1/8 inch, a little more, when that pushes up, it hits the copper of the shoe and makes it work without even soldering it on. Let me see over here. Older Corvette looks faster. Yeah, it looks meaner. I agree. Oh, he's gonna be racing the Kraken track. That thing's awesome. I love that. Huge layout. Go check his track out if you guys didn't see it. Slot Car League of Champions. He's got the killerest 2-lane AFX dream track. It's so nice. It's like perfect. I used to, when I set them up when I was little, I used to have ones because my brother gave me all a type. I got so many stories. I ain't even gonna get into it. Put it this way, I had so much track. We used to set up tracks in the basement. It took over a minute to go around with it. And we didn't have power tap, so halfway through we were going slow. But check out Slot Car League of Champions. Check out his AFX track. That's a beauty. RC Basher boy, what's up? No, you're not a slot car man. You're an RC man. Yeah, so we got a lot of 136. My sister got a lot. She's crazy. She bought so many of these 143 cars. You guys seen them all. So he's like, oh, look at all these. She runs them at the end. They're all mostly hers. I think I have like 4 of them or 5, maybe 4 of them. I'm not even sure. She likes these a lot. Here's the different spacing on the Carrera track you could see. I'll just use these 2 cars for a reference. That's on the Polycar track. That's how much spacing you get with these 143. Whoa, almost lost one. And now this is on the Carrera track. You could see it's a little further apart. These are nice cars for the money. You could find these for $20 sometimes, 25. I think she found some for like $16.99. It's crazy. I think I might have even found one for $14 one time. But yeah, she got a whole bunch of these, I think. These are nice looking cars, the Vipers. Any car with a remote, you have my attention. I guess I found that everyone who likes RC cars, a lot of the guys that have slot car tracks like them, and a lot of the guys that have slot car tracks and they don't say they have RC cars, then when you start talking to them, they're like, "Oh, I got a Stampede, I got a Traxxas this, I got one of these." So that a lot of the guys like both hobbies, and that's how I am. When I was little, like slot cars and RC cars are the best thing I always liked doing. Corvettes are pretty sweet. I wish I had more light. I need a light from behind because you can't see. Oh, well, on mine, does it look dark like you can't see nothing? Because on mine, it looks like you can't. It could just be my monitor. I don't know. These Corvettes are sweet. Dan, you got to get some of these beauties. My sister likes these a lot. I like them too. They're cool. And you know what's nice about them too? The bigger cars, they make them the scale. Like, look at the difference. This is a Porsche. Look at how skinny it is. They make them different lengths, the wheels different size. They make them how they are. They're supposed to be. They just don't make like kind of HO. They just put a. That's why HO kind of looks funky, because they always have the same size wheels, the same size kind of with chassis and the bodies. They just kind of plop like they have to put a Beetle on a same slot car as if they made a station wagon kind of. So that's why they could look funky. Yeah, these are nice. Yeah, drones. I had a few of them drones too. Airplanes, you name it. Boats. I did them all. Helicopters. Don't get a helicopter. Well, now they're probably better, but back in the day, woohoo! Helicopters gave you hell. These are nice little cars. Like I said, my sister got a whole load of them. I'm just showing you these few here. The Vipers are cool. Look at that. That nice? Look at the detail on that beauty. Probably only like $23 or something, this thing. Maybe 24 or 25. You got to search around. Sometimes you find them. Some places have them cheap. Lamborghini. Pretty sweet. Basher Boy probably likes this one. It looks like someone who would like Lamborghinis. Am I right? Basher Boy, I got like 70 RCs now. Yeah, me too. It's crazy. I got 70 RCs. I got a million slot cars. Here's another Porsche. You know what I like about the larger scale too, like the 132nd in these 143 scale cars? Every year they make a lot of different cars. So every year you have a choice to buy a new type of looking car. That's what's good about it. Whereas the HOs, they mainly just kind of just paint them all the time, once every couple like year or two. They need to do something about them HO cars. They need to make more body styles and more paint jobs. They take too long. I know Auto World does a good job with that kind of stuff, but AFX, they don't. Of course, my sister got all the Camaros. I don't even like. I like the Mustangs, but because I have a Camaro too. I don't. I'm a Chevy fan, but I have the Mustang and the orange, and I bust their Super Snake, Super Snake, and I'm like, I'm bragging about it. And I like the Camaros better. The GT40s, they're nice. They're nice cars. These are nice. They're really nice. What are they like on the inside? Daniel Thomas said, what are they like on the inside? You're talking about these? I could show you these. You have to unscrew the bigger cars. They have screws. They unscrew them. These little cars, I'll show you on the inside. These ones just have like an RC motor now. They switched it. You see it? And then I'll show you like an older one, how an older one looks. And some styles still look like this, a lot of styles. Everyone knows what this is. This is Magnum 440. Sergeant J, I just picked up the Granite Grom. Is that the new 1/16 scale, that one? I think so. Red blocks, white model. I don't know what you're talking about. This one? No, I just showed you this one, I think. They all have, depending on the type of car, they have different bodies, the HO, but they all have, if it's a Mega G, they'll all have the same type of motor setup and chassis, but with a different body on them. And then the different manufacturers have different chassis. Green Frog RC, what gauge would the smaller cars that go with vintage Aurora Toyota Le Mans? I think they were 160 something scale, 167th, and now they're no. What's bigger, the larger number, right? 187th they were, and now they're 167th or 8th. I forgot. They were 180. I don't know. They were smaller. These got bigger now. Someone here may know the HO guys if they're still in here. I think they were 187th scale, the original small ones. And now the new ones, the HO cars, are 167th scale. So they got bigger, but the track stayed smaller. The reason why I'm tilting it aside, guys, because I have to look at the comments because I have it on the side of the camera. Oh, you're welcome. I got a lot more slot cars. I could show up close. Yeah, that's what it is. They're 187th. The little ones, these ones, I believe are 187. I think these may be 160 something, 7 or 9. I forgot. But they're way bigger. Look at the difference. Check out this beauty. Pimp this beauty out. Came at like gray dull wheels. Pimp this beauty out. My sister's car. Nice Camaro. Hot Wheels version. Pimped it out with the nice yellow matching wheels with the markings. Woo, it's a nice one. Runs good too. That's an Auto World. Wish they ran as smooth as them AFX Magna tractions, but for some reason they copied an old 670s chassis, and the chassis is worse than the old 70s one. Oh yeah, generally I did this myself. I painted it like this. I painted this one up myself. Here's another nice one from Auto World, Sunco Camaro. These ones look neat with the white lettering on the tires. Their white lettering on the tires is awesome, but their tires are like freaking vinyl and slip all over the place. That's the only problem. That's a nice one. AFX Mega G Plus. I just wanted to show you guys that the grips are ready to go for the radios, and what we're going to race next, and what you guys picked for our next 1/32 scale race, the Marcoses and stuff. That'll be our next race. Who will win? I don't know, but I hope it's me this time. I'm getting sick of losing. Sick of losing the trophy and the candies. Alrighty, guys. I've been on here for what, like an hour, over an hour now. Just wanted to talk some slot cars and the radio grips that I make. And hope you enjoyed it. I never go live that much. I figured, what the heck, I might as well try to go live and do something. So stay tuned for more RC on the channel, like always. Been doing it like forever. And slot car racing, that's fun. We get a lot of guys liking the slot car racing. We have a blast when we do it. We joke around. We have fun. It's a lot of fun. And I think the upcoming race is going to be, like I said, these beauties, the 1/32 scale race, the Fly Marcos. They're awesome cars. And then probably the HO race might be my Mustang, the new, this one here, this body style. The Mustang, I call mine the Super Snake. It's orange with white. That's what I beat her with last time. So I'm the champion with my HO this time with this car, but the orange version. She got to find a car to race me. So we might do those HOs. And as for the 1/43 scale, it's going to be these beauties right out of the box and ripping. See who wins. Sister got the blue one, and I got the silver one. Break in time and just run it on the track and see who wins. If you get a lemon car, you get a lemon, you have to race. So that's what's going to happen the next few races. I know a lot of guys enjoy the races because we have a blast. Slot Valley Racing, you still there? I see, I wanted to tell Dan something. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Green Frog. Yeah, the F1 race will be nice. I never had those. That's the first time we got them in that scale. So, and I heard from other guys, they say they work really good around the turn. So I'll have to run them. All righty. Enjoyed you all coming in and watching. I hope you learned something. Like I always try to teach stuff. I'm an RC teacher and a slot car teacher. I appreciate you guys. Almost gave you the woozer there with my finger. But I enjoyed it. I have to do more lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys. All them guys that were interested in the TCR videos, check them out on my channel. You'll learn about it. It was a blast. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you as always. If you want any RC grips, contact me for your radios. They're available. Thanks, guys. Later. Appreciate you all as always. Oh, let me leave you with a beauty.